You said that Jordan Love and Tua are both top 10 quarterbacks. Do you really think Tua is a top 10 quarterback?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Again, because the argument, it's so funny to me with NFL fans because it's literally all we're going off is the eye test. Oh, who do I want? What sex appeal? But, like, am I supposed to, like, genuinely, am I supposed to fully ignore stats?
No, you're not.
So if and frankly, with Brock Purdy, even though he has incredibly clutch moments, that time, what was like third down last year where he was able to run the ball, his stats are what make Brock Purdy the reason he should be in that top 10.
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to ignore Tua's stats and say he's not a top 10 quarterback?
One guy has had playoff success and doesn't choke in the fourth
And one
quarter.
guy has also had a great team around him as well.
So has Tua.
And I'm saying to you that Tua's defense has not been healthy. Tua's offense has not been healthy. The offensive line.
Tua? Who are you picking?
You want to hear my top 10 quarterback?
I just went through my brain on. I just looked through as well. Yeah,
and I will explain.
They're borderline. They're like right at the 9, 10, 11, 12 spot.
Oh, I don't agree.
No, I would say
clear.
Tua is in between like 10
I think
to
the ones that are
13.
clear above them is Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen. Like those are
No doubt.
Hey,
easy
Pat.
guys that are above them. Yes.
Guess what I did on Friday?
What did you do on Friday?
I made my top 10 quarterbacks.
Did you? Okay, perfect. Let's
Oh,
hear
yeah.
it.
Because
Adam,
we were going through this.
Let's hear
and
it.
I
Let's
was
hear it.
What
debating
did you base it off of completely?
I based my top 10 quarterbacks off of the last 2 years.
Okay.
Right? So I get a little bit of the past, looking a little bit towards the future
Okay.
and what can come from it.
Okay.
And then I also wanted to factor in, like, if a guy like a CJ Stroud has only played 1 year,
Okay.
am I
Bump
going
him down.
I'm going to bump him down a little bit.
All right.
So Jordan
What
Love
about
is
a guy
gonna
that's
get
played
bumped.
maybe like a year and a half?
You're going to like my list.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think you
there
are.
you go.
Would you like me to start from 1 or 10?
10.
I think 1.
No, actually, yeah,
because
because we want to see where Tua.
One was
Tua
obviously
ends up.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
there's a no-brainer. 2 was
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Okay. Okay.
I still think Josh Allen's
All right.
there. He still played from an individual perspective, and he's had. Oh, the other part was talent around that quarterback.
Okay, wait.
Josh has had inferior talent.
Sometimes how I am like kind of like I hate stats, but I love stats. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because I like to prove
Josh
points.
Allen's
Well,
total touchdown stats is going to be a good one if you want a stat to defend yourself.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
So I saw Mina Kimes. Did you see this tweet
Love
she had
Mina.
about
Love Mina.
Burrow versus Allen?
No.
Okay, so Mina Kimes had it's like someone was in her mentions talking about like, oh, like Joe Burrow's so much better than Josh Allen. She's a big Josh Allen girl. This might have swayed me a little bit. I love Burrow.
Ooh.
But Mina Kimes goes, all right, the last 3 years, Allen, QBR, 70, which is third. Burrow, 58, which is 12. EPA per dropback, 0.17, which is third in the NFL for Allen, 0.1, which is 10th for Burrow.
Beautiful.
Just in the playoffs, Josh Allen's QBR is 77, Burrow's is 52.
It's not
Just
close.
versus Kansas City, Allen's QBR is 76, Burrow's is
Thank you.
63.
Thank you.
That's when I was like, okay.
Josh Allen's better
Maybe
than Joe
Josh
Burrow.
Allen's
Maybe
good.
Josh
Sorry.
Allen's better than Joe Burrow.
I'm sorry.
Maybe Josh Allen's better than Joe Burrow.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not saying he is
You
for
just said
sure.
it. Clip it.
I said maybe.
He did say May.
He did say May, but
I will
can
say,
take
like,
that out.
I love because I do that shit with Brock Mina, and she's a big Seahawks fan, so she probably hates it whenever she sees stuff that I've said. I don't know if she has or not, but
Big assumption.
Yeah, big assumption. But like, I gotta appreciate when people can bring up like very niche, interesting stats like that, and they really back up a point you have to make. I appreciate that.
good
Josh
stats.
Allen is better
So-
than Joe
There
we go.
Burrow.
Josh Allen, number 2.
So shout out Mina.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
2-time
Sure.
MVP.
I would put Lamar too, just because of the 2 MVP.
I don't hate that. For Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
that was the top
but
four I had.
That's
yeah,
why-
that's
yeah.
that. There's like tier AAA,
Yeah.
which is fucking.
This is where it got really hard.
Okay.
Right now. And this is where it ruffles feathers. And I feel very strongly about this. Number 5, Dak Prescott.
Don't hate that, honestly.
Dak
hate-
has
don't hate.
played incredibly the last 2 years. And yes, the playoff success is not there.
You see his quote the other day?
No. What
Of like all the great quarterbacks I watched growing up played for another team at some point. I think that might be me. One bold to assume that he is part of the great quarterbacks crew that he watched growing
hate
up.
that.
Very bold. And then also just like kind of a cock statement to be like, yeah, no, I'm going to leave at some point.
Well,
think-
no, I can go in depth about the Jerry Jones.
Like,
situation.
No, that's all I had to
when
say.
we're-
I don't want to go too in depth on
When
it. I
we're,
thought it was
when
a
we're
weird
looking back at
weird
this
comment.
generation, like when we're telling our kids, oh yeah, back in the 2020s,
Dak
man,
Prescott will be a
Dak
footnote.
Prescott is not a guy that we're
He'll be a
talking about.
footnote in history.
I
Unless he
would,
wins the Super Bowl.
I'm straight up. I would talk about Baker over him.
I think that you guys are wrong. I think that clip is going to age terribly. I think Dak Prescott is a very, very good quarterback that we will be talking about.
I
don't
think Dak
think so.
Prescott's a top 5 quarterback.
If he wins
But
the Super
that
Bowl for the
doesn't mean-
Cowboys, completely changes the statement we just made.
He
but
just doesn't.
obviously-
He hasn't done anything.
I'm sorry,
that's,
but
like,
if you
notable.
look at this list and we'll go through it afterwards, like no one has played better than Dak has at that 5th spot in these last 2 years.
I had no problem with
think
the 5th spot. I had a
Dak's
problem with
fine
this
that.
comment.
I'm okay with that.
At 6, I put CJ Stroud there.
I like it.
I put
And you're
CJ.
doing that after 1 year.
And I'll
'Cause
tell
you said
you,
you
yes,
weighed that.
Yes,
Okay.
and I think a lot of people put CJ Stroud in their top 5. I don't think he deserves.
I don't think
anything
you'll put
there.
him in top
And
5.
No,
You'll put him top 10.
I've seen him 5. I've seen
That's
him 5 on
crazy.
lists.
That's
I
crazy.
think this 6 through 9 list is so interchangeable. It's not even funny.
Okay.
I think
At
I know.
7
I think I have an idea who's in that. Can I guess the 4 guys that are in
Yeah,
that
you
6
can.
round?
6
I'm gonna
was
assume
CJ Stroud.
It's
And
like
can I just defend the CJ Stroud take quickly?
no, I get it.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you
no,
can
I
do
got
it.
no problem with it. He's a stud.
Like, he's
I
fucking
just think,
sick.
what he
And, like,
showed.
No, I
he-
was just curious how high he was going to be.
He was the
because
best
of
rookie
1
quarterback
year.
we've ever seen, I think,
Yeah,
statistically
exactly.
and eye test.
And I'm gonna
wise.
take it.
RG3.
I'm going to take it.
No, I mean he had substantially better stats than RG3.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think off the top.
Eye test wise,
okay,
RG3.
I
wait,
just
so can
also
I-
to take a team, it's very similar to Joe Burrow, to take a team in 1 fucking year from being a top 3 pick
Yeah.
in the NFL draft to being a playoff
I think that's
contender.
why we think
and
so
winning a
highly
playoff
of
That's
Joe.
game.
exactly.
Winning a playoff game.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you're now in the conversation of like this team could potentially go make a run. And
Yeah.
for me, I can't discredit
Yep.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
6.
I think 6 through 9. Can I guess
7.
who's
You're on
gonna
7
be
now.
in it? Sorry.
No.
No, I'm saying the 6 through 9 because you said they're
Wait.
all
No,
interchangeable.
CJ
go
Stroud
for
is
6.
6.
6 was CJ Stroud. 7, who do you think it is?
I'm going to say 7 is Jordan Love because you always put them back to back.
You have to. Jordan Love.
Yeah.
7 was Jordan Love.
Nice.
They were their stats are nearly identical.
No, I understand that. That's fine. I think
8.
I have my 8 guess.
You want to pull?
yeah, who do you think?
Jalen Hurts.
No.
Ooh, I was thinking Hurts.
No.
You don't like Jalen Hurts.
I'll defend
Is he
it.
not in the top 10?
Well, we're gonna
Sorry,
we're
Matt
gonna-
Stafford. Don't want to spoil
No.
things.
Oh,
dropped Matt Stafford out of my top 10. I'll let you know right now.
Really?
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Brock.
Brock Purdy's number 8.
Okay.
You can't be too upset with that.
Again,
I have not seen one top 10 quarterbacks list that has Brock Purdy in it.
Really?
this
Well,
offseason.
welcome to the fucking
No.
party, Jack.
Wow.
No, I appreciate you.
There's no reason why we should discredit stats because of fucking eye test, because they don't have a clutch gene, because they don't do something crazy, some sex appeal. If they perform like a top 10 quarterback, if their stats support it,
He
put
is
them
a
in
top
the
10
fucking
quarterback.
top 10. It's bullshit. Number 9, Tua Tagovailoa. It just
He gave you Brock at 8 so he could slide into at 9.
And
without you
because he
questioning
said
things.
all that
He
stuff,
defended Tua with,
he defended Tua with Brock, and I don't appreciate that.
But I'm
used him
correct.
as a human body shield. He
but
put
I'm
Brock at
correct.
8.
I'm fully correct, and you can't dispute that.
I know. I'm just sad.
I would rather have Matt Stafford.
I would too.
I don't.
Although you're talking your 2 years forward thing, I think I'd still rather.
I
have
don't
Matt
disagree
Stafford.
with you, but over the last 2 years, Tua's stats have been better than Stafford. Then Stafford had a down year this past year, and I think it was like even pass rating and QBR. And so I'd
still rather have
he was
Stafford.
outside the top 10. I agree with you.
In the last
I'd still rather have
2
Stafford.
3 years.
3 years. Okay. Well, misses the sample size.
Yep, misses the sample.
That's
size,
why you
yep.
asked what the criteria is.
No, fair.
And
Very
number 10.
selective.
So you telling me you wouldn't take Jalen Hurts over Tua?
No. And at number 10, I took Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert.
Oh my God! Whoa!
I put Justin Herbert number 10. Justin
Okay.
Herbert's last 2 years have been fucking
That's over-
terrible. He's had
over
one
Jared
good
Goff
fucking
and
year,
over
and that was
Jalen
his second year
Hurts.
in the
No,
NFL. And
and
yes,
Matt
you could
Stafford.
point to supporting cast. Yes, you could point to all this shit. He's been bad. And then you want to go a step further with Jalen Hurts. Literally, you took away an offensive coordinator, and he was substantially worse. If you remove the tush pushes,
he's right.
he is. We are not talking about him the same way. Eagles fans went from literally having a guy who was in the MVP conversation, took them to the Super Bowl, to literally being like, I don't know if I want him as my quarterback.
Which
He
is
was
crazy.
so
with
bad.
Carson
Which is
Wentz.
ridiculous.
Last year. He
What?
was so bad.
He
in the
was
second half.
terrible.
Oh,
So-
yeah. I thought you
He
were
was
talking about
so bad.
Carson Wentz, who's in the MVP conversation.
We're
and
talking
they
about
said you don't
Jalen
want
Hurts.
him.
We're talking
No,
about
because
Jalen
that's what
Flashback
happened with
to
Carson
2018.
Wentz.
I know,
too.
that's what I'm
I was
saying.
like-
And Amanda, her parents, her dad is an
Oh,
Eagles
yeah.
fan. And so, like, I hear
Good
this
guy.
in my ear every single time. So Jalen Hurts is a guy. I think Jalen Hurts can literally go from outside the top 10 to within that top 5 so goddamn
He could be
fast. if he
4.
puts up
According to your
another year.
bullshit list, he was like the 3rd most valuable player in the NFL last year.
Yeah, well, it was a stupid list.
Oh,
It was a
and the
stupid.
truth
Well, it
comes
didn't have
out.
Patrick Mahomes.
It was a crazy list. And by the way, it also got like 20,000 views. So very stupid list.
I liked
But
it.
that's my top 10 quarterbacks. And I think
It's a good list.
Herbert, you got to bump him down. Tua, Brock, I can't discredit stats. Jordan Love, CJ Stroud potential based off a 1 year sample size, and then Dak Prescott at 5.
I understand why. Okay, like because you obviously know I'm the biggest, most biased motherfucker ever with Brock, but like I understand why you have CJ and Jordan Love over him because of like that potential. We haven't seen like a lot of them yet.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Brock have potential?
I do think Brock has potential, but
What's up with that?
I'll tell you right now. We got to go around supporting cast.
He's like
We gotta go off
he's
supporting
He's
cast.
2 years younger than Jordan Love.
It's the same reason I put Tua lower.
I just say why
If
doesn't he have
if you
potential?
took away Tua's supporting cast, do I think he's going to perform the same way? No.
fine, fair.
But you take away Brandon Ayuk and Brock Purdy still has a top 5 season like he did last year, then why am I if anything, he goes up.
I mean,
At some point that-
I get it. It's just
At some point, the conversation is going to shift.
it's just, people, the discourse behind Brock is crazy. There's the word again.
Discourse.
Like, I just feel like a lot of people don't actually talk about him, how he's like, this is going to be his third year in the NFL, and people talk about him like he's a fucking veteran quarterback. Like, they talk about him like he's Jimmy G.